Hey, what's up, everybody? Time for another nerdy video. Some people like these. If you liked videos, like, sub, silly, comment, share, support the channel if you can. I appreciate it. Thanks. Super chat, PayPal, Patreon. Super like the video, whatever. It helps the channel. Thanks. I want to talk about the suspension of disbelief. Being able to suspend disbelief in a fictional story and why it is so important. And that's why I talk about these retcons in, different fandoms and different nerdy, let's call it series, right? Because even if it's a work of fiction, you want to be able to feel immersed in this fictional world, that it is somehow plausible. And when you have stories in these works of fictions where one character acts one way 1 minute and then they act in a totally different way for no reason, if this world is supposed to act in one way 1 minute, then the next minute all these rules don't apply anymore, it's hard to suspend disbelief, right? Because it becomes not plausible. These people, obviously fictional, they don't even seem human. They don't seem real whatsoever. And that's why retcons suck so much when you have characters acting different, when you have worlds that have established rules that all of a sudden don't matter. And I've used this example of Star Ocean 3. And I said Star Ocean 3, one of my favorite games of all time. First 2/3 of the game, one of my favorite games of all time. Terrible plot twist, not going to defend the plot twist. But do you know why Star Ocean 3, the first 2/3 of Star Ocean 3 are so good? Is because there are so many rules in the game for why the people act the way they do. There's this whole dictionary that you don't have to read whatsoever. It's just something you can do if you're bored as the player. There's a dictionary and it has character backstories. It has the world backstories. It has rules to all these different things. And there are so many different rules that even if you think a character acts a little bit weird in some way, the dictionary often actually tells you why this character would act this way because of a past experience. Why don't they all use laser guns right when they get thrown, right when they get stranded on a fucking whatever the fucking first world that they get stranded on was, right? And because there's this universal law that you can't bring in technology to another planet because it's a huge no, you'll be arrested, all this kind of stuff. Does it seem a little strange when you think, well, this could be a life or death situation? Maybe I might break the law. But you know what? Because there's so many rules in the game and the dictionary really drives home how important this is. It allows you to suspend disbelief. And that's why the first 2/3 of Star Ocean 3 are so good, because it's easy to become immersed in the world because the rules of the world are so established and you see the characters tend to act like the rules actually say, right? That's why I love Star Ocean 3, because you can suspend disbelief. You can become immersed in this world, right? That's when I want to talk about these retcons and these other series, because they don't make any sense, right? Look at Ryu. Ryu in Street Fighter, he doesn't make any sense, right? He used to be the whisper of the hero, the ideal that everybody strived to be. This Dragon Punch was a legendary attack that nobody had ever seen. But making Ryu just a guy, oh, I randomly go evil. Oh, I didn't legitimately beat Sagat, right? How many times have I gone over this in these nerdy videos about Ryu? Do you think I think Ryu is transgender or something like that? I'll never understand whenever I make a video about Bridget or anything in Guilty Gear. Oh, you must be transphobic. What? I just don't like retcons, right? Is Ryu transgender now? Ryu doesn't make any sense. Ryu makes changing the story of Street Fighter 2, changing how Ryu is all this stuff. It makes the whole story of Street Fighter 2 make no sense. Why did Sagat go to a life of selling drugs? You're telling me there's a world tournament where Ryu no longer legitimately beat him. Sagat beat him, went to give him his hand, and Ryu cheap shot at him with the Dragon Punch. Why would Sagat go work for M. Bison and become a drug dealer? What? It makes no sense. The whole story is absolute nonsense. That's what I make these videos about. Bridget and Guilty Gear, the Guilty Gear story and all the retcons, I like Kai. Kai's my favorite character. Do I think that Kai should have been retconned to be so insanely strong now that Soul is afraid of Kai? That doesn't make any sense. It's stupid, right? Just like Bridget. Bridget's story doesn't make any sense. Bridget is forced to be a girl. Oh, now Bridget actually liked it. Okay. Bridget sure didn't seem to like it in all the story leading up to this. Bridget's whole story was, I don't actually want to be a girl and I want to prove that I can actually be a guy. That this superstition is not real. I can prove myself as a bounty hunter, right? Oh, that doesn't matter anymore. Let's forget that all these jokes about Bridget was made as a joke character. Oh, let's forget all those interviews. And the worst thing is, Bridget is supposed to be and is being shilled as being inspiring. But Bridget has done nothing. Bridget in the story is actually supposed to be trying to find their brother who has just disappeared. The brother could be dead. Guess what? The brother is just seemingly written out of the story now. Bridget doesn't care about her brother anymore? Is that an inspiring character? Now they're transgender. Okay, so what is their story? What is their struggle? Everyone wanted them to be a girl in the first place. Oh, well, they didn't know if they wanted to be that. That's your epic story? What? Bridget is not an inspiring character. Unica makes no sense. This whole Nerval thing. Did you see the Nerval thing in the anime recently? Oh yeah, Soul has always had this gun that just in case, Sin or Dizzy went berserk, that he could just shoot them and they won't go berserk anymore. He's had this all the way back, during XX. And he gave it right to Kai, right when he saw that Kai and Dizzy were going to be together. Just in case, Kai, I have this gun in case you need it. And I'm going to keep one too for Sin. So what happened in the future? He just didn't use the gun? They just forgot about that? Oh, Unica is so ridiculously powerful. Unica makes Dizzy, Kai, Sin, Bike, and Johnny all job at the same time. That's how absurdly powerful she is. Her goddamn fucking laser rail gun is also Kai's sword. She's like, that doesn't look, that kind of looks like my dad's sword. Or that kind of looks like the sword that I have. Surely I can't be related to any of them. Oh, Nerval, this master virus dude who knows everything about gears, didn't check Unica to see that she's a command gear too. That just slipped his mind, even though he's a genius scientist about gears, that he even turns himself into like basically a gear monster as well, which is even more ironic, right? Maybe it just is stupid. Doesn't have anything to do with me hating a transgender person. I just think it's stupid and it makes the story not make any sense. There's got to be rules to the fandom, right? Just like I don't like the plot twist or the retcons or the Potara earrings in Dragon Ball. It's retarded. It doesn't make any sense because you established it as a rule. You went through the trouble of establishing it as a rule. And then you're like, I don't care anymore. That stuff is stupid. And then, like I said, the Bridget thing, you actually have Bridget is being shown as supposed to be inspiring, but has done nothing. It's actually kind of morally evil. And it's kind of like, sets a bad example for people watching this. I think just the story, it's like, oh, you don't actually have to do anything, but you get a gold star for doing nothing. Wait a second. Where have I heard that before? Did you realize it's almost actually like bringing the real life into the anime, that you have all these transgender people, all these overly radical LGBTQ people? How many times have I said before? People don't want to admit that, quotation marks, cisgender people aren't who they want to be too. Do you think I like myself? Do you think I'm exactly who I want to be? No. I would imagine most people in this life, in this world, probably are not actually the ideal person that they want to be. Not just a transgender person. But unlike these overly radical transgender people, guess what? Bridget got a gold star, is now inspirational despite doing nothing and leaving her brother for dead. I mean, why don't they say what happened to the brother? Just, my brother's missing. He might be dead. Let's forget that plot point. I'm inspirational. I'm transgender now. Let me inspire Unica. How? What have you done, Bridget? Oh yeah, I have a yo-yo and I'm in this anime now just because, I don't know, to make money off the LGBTQ. It's retarded. It's stupid. But Bridget isn't the only stupid thing, just like I said. I like Kai. You know what? I liked when Kai was just supposed to be a badass human being, right? Wasn't as strong as all these strong gears, all this kind of stuff. But the thing about him is they used to say, again, maybe they changed the story, that he actually was one of the few people that could actually use lightning magic because it's the hardest magic to use, which made him be able to then compete with gears and fight them. Couldn't beat Soul or anybody like that. He can't take down these powerhouses, but for a human being, the dude is absurdly strong. Now, yeah, now Soul's like, yeah, actually, I'm afraid of you, Kai, because you could beat me. What? Okay. Stuff like that doesn't make any sense. This whole plot twist, it's been this way for, God, when did they change Kai to being that strong? What, like 10, 15 years they just changed it? Oh yeah, now it's this way. That doesn't make any sense. It's stupid. And that's why I said before, that's why I liked Star Ocean 3, the first 2/3 of it, too much, because the game had a whole dictionary just to drive home why the characters act this way. Even if there's not a cutscene explaining it, that you might think, oh, this might be a little bit weird, there would be a dictionary entry explaining, like, this is a little bit weird. Now, again, Star Ocean 3, not a perfect game. There are weird things, right? Like, just like when they were working on those weapons at first, they even called attention to the player. Like, he's like, you know what? I don't think this world should have a weapon this strong. We need to look into this later. Something is amiss here. Now, did they? They didn't. That's retarded, right? Just like the whole Greeton thing. Greeton has technology that they probably shouldn't. Let's not go to Greeton whatsoever. That's kind of stupid. Again, not perfect, but generally speaking, Star Ocean does have a lot of things that allow you to suspend disbelief. And before the plot twist that just totally ruins it, right? Star Ocean 3 does a pretty good job of encouraging you even to become immersed in the world, right? I always say too, if I was making Star Ocean 3, just to have Greeton, I know Greeton is locked up for the entire game, which makes no sense. Why not, when Fate shoots the laser beam and he knocks the Verdini ship out, say one of the Verdini ships crashed into Greeton. And then there's a side quest where you're like, hey, you talk to some people and like, hey, I'll sneak you into Greeton and we can open this door, come at night, and you can go in there, little side quest, and you see one of their ships is knocked into some buildings in Greeton. Gives you an excuse to go there. Little side quest of exploring the ship. Maybe there's some, items there, something. But, again, Star Ocean 3, not a perfect game, but it has rules that allow you to be immersed, right? Just like Ryu. Street Fighter had rules to why the characters act the way they do. Oh, Ryu's evil now. Wait, what? Well, if Ryu's evil, goes evil back and forth, all these other characters' stories start not to make sense, right? Unica, why is she so, what? I mean, it's kind of weird, right? Bridget. And then you're shilling Bridget as being inspired. Bridget hasn't done anything. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, if you like the videos, like, sub, silly comment, share, support the channel if you can. I appreciate it. Thanks. The end.